Railway station on the left, Charing Cross, the West End. There's also a footbridge, the Golden Jubilee footbridges, 12 years old. Either side of the bridge, the Golden Jubilee footbridge. It's a very noisy bridge, the railway, Charing Cross. Completely soundproofed from the railway, the concert hall, festival hall. Some very famous people have performed here: Shirley Bassey, Frank Sinatra and Pavarotti. And to your left, Cleopatra's Needle, over 3,000 years old. Made in Egypt, made in pairs. The other one in America, New York City, given to us for defeating Napoleon at the Battle of the River Nile. And Waterloo Bridge, built by ladies in the Second World War. The men, they were fighting, the girls built the bridge. Look how clean it is on the outside. When it rains, it gets a wash. Very dirty underneath, of Portland stone. Portland that self-cleans. And so it was built by ladies, Waterloo. And on the right, our National Theatre. This area, the South Bank. Next door to the National Theatre, IBM. And the tall office building, ITV. Our local television film studios. So they do lots of filming on the right. There are some brilliant programs filmed here. The Jeremy Kyle Show, Loose Women, The X Factor. So it's all filmed on the right, ITV. And look at the shore on the right, the sand. All that sand starting to appear as the tide is dropping. So it's a very clean river. I know it looks dirty, it's mud based, but there's no more sewage in the river. So very clean today. A lot of fish, eels and flatfish. And on the right, the OXO building. They've turned the lights on in the tower, OXO. The famous gravy, the stock cube. They used to make it years ago in that building. People live there today, and there's a restaurant on the roof, Harvey Nichols. And if you look on the left, you can see the high water mark beneath the lion's heads that were put there as a flood indicator many years ago. If the water got to the mouth of the lion, they would close off this part of the capital. A very old saying, a rhyme. When the lions are drinking, then London is sinking. And when the heads are ducked, then London's flooded. It doesn't rhyme as well, does it? And to your left, with a black spire, the old City of London School for Boys. So it's got a sloping roof. Not a school today, an American bank, J.P. Morgan, the old school. And offices on the left, Unilever, the soap and detergent manufacturers, Unilever on the left. And the bridges are Victorian, the Blackfriars, the road and the railway bridge. And the columns, they carry steam trains over the river from Dover and Chatham all the way through to London, the steam rail. And then on the right, the power station, an art gallery, the largest in the world, free to visit, the Tate Modern. Doesn't cost a penny. Does anyone like modern art on the boat? Does anybody like it? One person. Now it's free to visit, so you'd like it over there. St Paul's on the left, the masterpiece of Sir Christopher Wren, buried in the crypt, the architect, and Horatio Lord Nelson. And we have the new school for London to your left as well. But going back to St Paul's, look on top of the dome. There's a viewing platform, but there's over 500 steps to get to the top. And the Millennium Footbridge opened in the year 2000. They are the Millennium Footbridge. Of much more interest on the right, the Globe Theatre of William Shakespeare, opened by the Queen about 20 years ago. The roof is thatched, the only thatched roof in London since the Great Fire. They do guided tours all year round, and then in the summer they reenact all of the plays. We've got new apartments on the right and restaurants on the ground floor. We've got a lovely Greek restaurant and pizza restaurants as well. And we've got the bridge, Southwark. And on the right, as we go under the bridge, the FT building, Financial Times. And then before the next bridge on the right, the pub, the Anchor, just over 400 years old, and do lovely food in there, the old Anchor Tavern. And we've got a railway in the station away to your left, Cannon Street. And as we go underneath the railway on the right, the warehouses, people live there today, old warehouses and now flats and apartments. And the little pirate ship, the working replica of the Golden Hind, Sir Francis Drake ship, the first Englishman to sail the world in 1577. And behind the trees on the right, Southwark Cathedral, and that was built in the 13th century, Southwark. And with your camera, left and right of the boat, the name of the bridge, London Bridge, the 5th London Bridge. They opened it 1973. The first one built by the Romans. And the one before this one, it's in America. It was sinking. So we took it down in the 70s and we sold it to the Americans. They've had it rebuilt out in the States. Do we have any Americans on the boat? And do you know where it is? Shout it out, please. Arizona, in the desert, Lake Havasu, the old London Bridge. Thank you. To your left, that yellow brick building, it was a fish market, Billingsgate. Can you see the fish on the roof? We have a new fish market, Canary Wharf. I've got to go there soon. I'll go there quite regular. Get very cheap fish, lovely and fresh. I like the seafood myself, so you get loads of it down the fish market, very cheap. On the right, the shopping complex, the Archway, used to be a dock. A lot of shipping years ago, say from the North Sea all the way up to London Bridge, there was a lot of shipping both sides. We couldn't get shipping any further than the bridge. And then we got the warship in the river, HMS Belfast, built in Belfast, Northern Ireland, the same shipyard as the Titanic. Saw action in the Second World War, bombing the beaches of Normandy, D-Day, and sinking the Scharnhorst. So it's open to the public, free for the kids, the Belfast. Now there's our destination to your left, and we're going to turn the boat to get you a nice picture of the bridge. So on the right, as we turn the boat now, Tower Bridge. And on the right, City Hall, the Mayor's office, Boris Johnson, the Mayor of Greater London, City Hall. Now they'll turn the lights on very shortly for Tower Bridge, and it looks lovely when it's all lit up. It used to open about 20 times every day, up until the early 80s. And people, they would walk over the top as the ships came through. They've turned the top into a museum, the Tower Bridge Experience. £7 to go to the top. You can Google Tower Bridge Lift, and it tells you all of the times of the bridge opening. It's going to open Saturday next. Is anyone here Saturday? A few of you. You might want to watch it open. What time did you say? 1:45. So 1:45, Saturday afternoon, Tower Bridge will open. So you might want to jot it down, remember that, 1:45. And then on the right, we've brought you in here. Look, we haven't just dumped you on the pier there or dropped you off, so we brought you by lovely. My friend's out tonight. He's going out, so he hasn't rushed. He's going out to watch a comedian tonight, Lee Mack. Have you heard, you know him, the ladies?